Hello, everybody. It is August 8th, 2025. And as you can see from my background, I am going to rank an album I absolutely love, and that is Cherry Pie from Warrant. Kind of got the inspiration to do this because I just did that video where I talked about Cinderella. Does Cinderella suck? And, you know, they're definitely considered a hair band and especially focused on night songs because that's an album where even if you're not a Cinderella fan, people seem to like that album. And I got a couple of comments, and one person did say, "Hey, man, I'm into hardcore metal, but I absolutely like night songs." Again, great. That's absolutely fabulous. It's just not an album that I'm ever really going to get into. But love this shirt, and it has Don on it, which is why I love this shirt so much too. Because Don, to me, was definitely part of the Blizzard of Oz band and the Blizzard recording of the Blizzard of Oz album. So, but that's neither here nor there. But Warrant Cherry Pie, which sadly was kind of the bane of Janie Lane's existence, the song, not the album. But turned out to be something that he absolutely hated. And it's a shame because I do think it's a great album. And it is so a really, really, really good album. It's totally overshadowed by this one song. But let's go. Let's do our rankings. And remember, I do it 1 to 5. I did listen to the album just now. And again, I'm not going to play tracks because I just don't even know. There's so much hit or miss as far as what's allowed to be used. And you hear all these stories of people who have videos up for a long time where they've, for ranking, which I guess is supposed to be normal, okay to do for fair use. And then their videos are getting pulled. So I'm not going to play music anymore. But the first song off the album is Cherry Pie. This was the big one. This was the monster hit. This was the one that, that everybody knows. It is, and it was one where the record company told Janie, it's so funny because it's like Paranoid, where the record company told Tony Iommi, look, we don't have a single. And Tony Iommi went and he wrote this classic heavy metal song, Paranoid, that is loved and respected. Janie Lane, same thing happened. We need another song. We need a single. We don't hear the single on the album. So he goes and he writes Cherry Pie. And everything is Cherry Pie. I'll talk about that after we do the ranking. It is a great song. It is catchy. Yes, it's stupid. It is, the whole thing. It is a great song. I give it a 5. I absolutely give it a 5. The video, being a teenager, this album, what does this album come out in 90? Look here. Yep, September 90. So I would have been like 15, 16 years old at this point in time. Yeah, that video was definitely a favorite of mine at that point. Bobby Brown, who eventually marries Janie Lane, is in, any red-blooded American boy, especially at that age, is going to love Bobby Brown in that video. Cherry Pie, the song, though, I always thought was great. It is a 5. The next song is what the album was supposed to be called and is really a phenomenal song, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Now, my buddy and I saw Motley Crue on the Dr. Feelgood tour, and Warrant was opening for them in Chicago. And it was when Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich, that's that album? The first one, right? Their first album is, DSFR, Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich. But they were opening while that album's out, but they played Uncle Tom's Cabin. Said, hey, we got a new song. We really love this song. And I think Janie may have even told the crowd this is going to be the name of the next album. And they played Uncle Tom's Cabin live. And my buddy who hates hair metal so much, really went for the Motley Crue for the first 2 albums. Didn't really like anything after the first 2 albums, but still wanted to see Motley Crue for the first 2 albums. Said if that album sounds like this, because I know you're going to get it, Joe, I will listen to it. So even people that were not into Warrant, liking this song. Sadly, as I said, the record company changes everything, and Uncle Tom's Cabin, while it does become a single, it's still outshined by Cherry Pie. But an unbelievable song. Unbelievable song, number 5. Or it's a 5. I Saw Red, a ballad. Janie has an absolute talent for writing songs in particular, but particularly ballads. I Saw Red, about a girl who's cheating on him. He walks in on him. And just phenomenal. Another 5 for me. Bed of Roses is kind of where we start hitting filler songs. I mean, we're not talking about Blizzard of Oz here. We're not talking about Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. We're not talking about Power Slave. So this album, it does have some tracks that are not all that great. Bed of Roses starts that. It's a filler track. It's kind of, your typical 80s hairband song. I give it a 3. Sure Feels Good to Me is a good one. Sorry. Is a good one. It's fast paced. It's fun. Not a great song, but it's not average. I give it a 4. Same with Love in Stereo. Again, it's fun. It's about, Janie's said that song's about him with more than one partner at a time. So it's a fun song. It's not to be taken seriously. The music is really good. I give Love in Stereo is another 4. Then Blind Faith. Again, I gotta stick. It's another single. Gotta stick with what I say. Janie writes unbelievable love songs. Give that one a 5. Song and Dance Man is the next one. That's a 2. Pretty much a filler song for me. It almost sounds like it's a little bluesy. Not really. When Sabbath does blues, they do it right. This Warrant trying to be a little bluesy. No, not at all. Give that one a 2. Next one is You're the Only Hell Your Mama Ever Raised. Again, another fun song. Definitely hair metal song. Definitely, this big, everything's a party type thing. It's fun. Music is really good. Give that one a 4 too. The next one is one I don't think was a single, and I think should have been, because this is probably my favorite song off the album, Mr. Rainmaker. I think is awesome. I think it's heavy. It's really got a 1-2 punch, and it's got a great chorus. I give that one a 5. The last two, are what kills the album for me. Train, the Blackfoot cover. Not a big fan of covers in general, so I traditionally will always, unless it's really, really, really something special, I'll always rate covers lower for me. I just don't like when covers. I don't think they do that great of a job. Train is not a song I like to begin with. Give that one a 2. And then number 12, the last one, is Ode to Tipper Gore, and it's just them live swearing, because Tipper Gore was, this is when Tipper Gore was putting the parental advisory stickers on albums, so they wanted to make sure that this album got that sticker. It's on the album, though. Give it a 1. So you average them all up, it's a 3.75. Again, I don't do decimals. You round up, this is a 4. Again, makes sense, because I really think this is a good album. Again, we're not talking Blizzard of Oz here. We are not talking Last in Line. But yes, it's a 4. Now, I will say this. They dumped that Train and put on the B-side of Cherry Pie, which was Thin Disguise. That could have brought him up to a solid 4, if not into the 4s for me. Because I think Thin Disguise is awesome. There's 2 other songs that were bonus tracks at some point. And again, I'm looking at Wikipedia as I'm doing this. Game of War and The Power. I have never heard those. I got to listen to those and see about those. This is a sad album, because it's a good album. Janie wanted to make a statement with Uncle Tom's Cabin. He kind of wanted to be a little social aware with, race relations and whatnot. And remember, this is the 90s could be a tumultuous time tumultuous, bad time as far as race relations in America. And Janie Lane wanted to touch on that, and he really felt strongly about this album being called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Now, on the flip side of that, he didn't want to, obviously wasn't doing an entire declaration of now we're going to be socially aware because, Love in Stereo and You're the Only Hell Your Mom Ever Raised. These are not serious songs. So he's not writing a serious album, but he did want at least the lead-off single, which was supposed to be Uncle Tom's Cabin, to be what this album was remembered for. And let's just be honest, it's not. And most people probably don't even know Uncle Tom's Cabin, the song, but they know Cherry Pie. And like he said in the VH1 Behind the Music, or which, it was one of those VH1 shows, Where Are They Now, or whatever it is. He's the cherry pie eating guy, cherry pie contests, cherry pie this, cherry pie that. And then, it's in strip clubs and all of this, and this is not what Janie Lane wanted. And let's just say he made it very clear in that interview he is unhappy, was very unhappy he wrote that song. Because Cherry Pie is the song that Warrant is tied to. Even though Warrant had a lot of big hits. Heaven, Sometimes She Cries, Down Boys. I mean, again, these were good songs. I like Warrant. If there's a hair band that I love, it's Warrant. And Cherry Pie overshadows all of them. And I do think Dog Eat Dog, the next album, has some really great tracks on it. I was going to review that one. The only reason I did this one was because when you get to the second half of Dog Eat Dog, that's where I think the album kind of slips. Probably do it at some point, but and then Warrant lost me after that album. They did like Ultra Phobia or Ultra. What did they do? Let's see. Let's see the rest of those. What was Ultraphobic? I did get Ultraphobic and Belly to Belly, and Ultraphobic as where they're trying to, I don't know, be the Seattle stuff, or maybe it was Belly to Belly. Anyway, those two albums I just absolutely could not stand. And then there's more Under the Influence, Born Again, Rockaholic, Louder, Faster, Harder, Faster, whatever it is. That I've never heard. So, but this is a great album. I definitely recommend it. It's a fun party type album. And yes, it's a 4. It absolutely is a 4 for me. So, and again, sad we lose Janie Lane. The guy obviously had a lot of demons, a lot of I don't know, a lot of things that went on in that man's life. Definitely gone too soon. But okay. All right. Like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I will see you soon.